I'm just using the same background because it takes up less memory on my phone. But I wanted to talk about the whole issue with the kids in the yeshivas, the Jewish schools, and there's a whole controversy, and the New York Times has been doing exposés about how bad our secular studies are and so forth, quote unquote, which they aren't. And I just want to give this example. I was talking to one of my children yesterday, and we saw my children go. This child of mine goes to Satmar, and we were watching a PragerU video where they were interviewing, people on the street, teenagers, asking them questions about the Declaration of Independence, right? And some of the kids didn't really know that much. These are, I'm assuming, people who go to public school, and that they're pushing on us that we have to have substantial equivalency to the public schools. So my child asked my child's friend, my child knew all the answers very easily, and my child asked my child's friend, and the friend also, it wasn't just that you live in the Kolakowski house and you're maybe more aufgeklärt and you know secular studies. No, this was talking to someone from a Rebbe'she kind, and this friend of my child knew all the answers about the Declaration of Independence that kids who go to public school don't know. So don't give me this nonsense that our schools are bad. Our schools are much better. I went to public school. I thank God that I escaped from that world, went to Yeshivah, and that's it. So it's not only that it's not a question of substantial equivalency. The schools, including Satmar or whatever else, are substantially superior to the public schools. Not to mention that the stuff that we're learning in our religious classes are high level, really, college level. I'm saying, what I had to learn for smicha in college, in addition to my bachelor's degree in psychology and everything else, this is really posted as like graduate level. So it was like graduate level for us in college, going to a frum college, to Turo, and which is standard in the modern Orthodox and literature world as far as smicha. That is what they learn in high school in Satmar. It's a highly advanced school. Now, if some kids don't succeed, that's their fault for not paying attention, not doing their work. But I taught English in Satmar, and if the boys don't pay attention, that's their problem. It's not for lack of teaching. It's not that we're not offering, and we get it all done. That's the other thing, is that they're not wasting time with nonsense. So we just get done what is required from the government to do, and they get it done by 8th grade. And this way, these kids, they've graduated already. They don't need that. They don't do a Regents or a GED just because they don't want the kids to go, especially the boys, to go to college. In those communities, they recognize that you're going to make a living better, as some other, maybe blue collar work as a plumber or electrician or something like that, or start your own business, as opposed to going to college and making your own. And with the fact that some people choose to live devoted lives, it's no different than in the Catholic Church becoming a monk or a nun. The only difference is that we're married and we have kids, but beyond that, to not go into business and to sit and learn in kollel or something like that. So some people do that because money is not everything in the world, and they live a much more simple life, and that's their choice. It's not because of any lack of education or anything else. The culture is very different, and they want to raise the children to keep their culture and not adopt the outside culture. But it's not anything of like they're trying to keep them poor or anything else like that. Some people choose a life of poverty, just like a Catholic monk. might take vows of poverty. That's what kollel really is, and it might not be permanent. You might do it for a year or two, just to start your married life off in a holy atmosphere. But some people, they choose to stay like that, and then maybe they become a dayan, a rabbi in the synagogue or something else, and then they're hired by the community for the service that they're providing to the community. Again, no different than any other community, and they're not making the big bucks that the conservative and reform so-called fake rabbis are making. Those guys, their starting salaries are $100,000. That's why, the congregations can't even hire them anymore. They might go back to the old way of hiring Orthodox rabbis like they used to do, because the Orthodox rabbis are in it for the mitzvah, not for the money, the way that the Reform and conservative rabbis are. And some of the conservative rabbis are Talmidei Chachamim and scholars, and even Shomerei Torah mitzvahs, and so they are, Achenu B'nai Yisrael. But they're fewer and far between these days, and more of them, especially the younger ones, are put themselves chutz l'machana. So that's kind of where we're talking. So anyway, that's and I saw a very interesting tweet from, I think it's Chanala Music, who's a podcaster from Eretz Yisrael, and she said it's a much bigger tragedy that there are Jewish children who have zero Jewish education or very limited Jewish education than there are Jewish kids, Hasidic kids, who have a different type of secular education. And I wouldn't even really say that's limited. It's just there is some censorship because they want to, they don't want to expose the kids to certain things. But there's no idea that they're going to prevent the kids from learning to read English or math. Math is the biggest, emphasis in the secular department in the Hasidic schools. But they learn reading, writing, handwriting that kids don't even learn today. And in the reading books, they have history, science, but certain things are edited. They don't want the kids to know about sex, so they won't. And I'll be honest, that is one thing that's true. They won't even mention that animals lay eggs and that the animals come out of eggs. And it's not because so much they don't want the kids to know about it, as much as they leave those things up to the parents to teach. Or when they're married, then they can, before they get married, they'll learn more about these things, But they want to keep the innocence of the children even at the youngest ages, which I know that's one thing that the left is trying to get rid of, and that's really what this whole push is about. And I understand that might be a more extreme view, but again, it's to respect each family of how they want to present these things to the kids, as opposed to, having the schools do these things. So that's just what I wanted to share today. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment, and we'll see you later. And again, like I've said many times, I went to college. I went to a frum college, thank God. But I went to college, and at one point, shortly before, about 5 years ago, it was 5 years ago before I started working where I'm working now, I was on Section 8. As a college grad, I was on food stamps, Medicaid. And I was working for a Satmar in German, younger than me. I remember him when he was a teenager. And he was a multimillionaire. So if money is what you're looking for, you can make money with a Satmar education, without a GED, without a Regents diploma. You can make money. If that's what you care about in this world, I'd like to be able to support myself, and I was able to until this Manchurian candidate came in and purposely ruined, again, not supposed to talk about that stuff, purposely ruined our economy. I'm not saying he cheated. I'm not saying anything else. I'm not saying, because you're not allowed to say that stuff. I understand. But not putting any aspersions on the election, you know. And I don't want to, because I want our people to go out and vote right, you know. And I don't want people to be discouraged from voting. But that's it. That's the story. So, thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment, and we'll see you all later. How do I turn this thing off?